All right, over the wild card weekend, there was an officiating debacle that we have to absolutely talk about. And it was the first play, not first play from scrimmage, but opening kickoff between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, look, before we get into this, let's be very clear. We're not Packers fans on this channel. We're not Eagles fans. We're not Packers haters. We're not Eagles haters, right? We cover most of the National Football League on this channel. And we just wanted to talk about this officiating debacle because this has become a common theme in the NFL where the refs over officiate and take control of games in a manner that's inconsistent with the rule book, right? So before we go into the opening play that I'm sure a lot of you guys remember, I'm going to read the relevant part of the rule book, the NFL rule book. This is directly from the NFL website right here from their operations rule book to really highlight what the NFL screwed up here. So this is from right here, section Rule 7, Section 2, Article 1, dead ball declared, right? This is when a ball is dead, when a play is over. This says when a runner, so an official shall declare the ball dead and the down ended, right? So here we go. It's a scrimmage down because it's a kickoff. When a runner is contacted by an opponent and touches the ground with any part of his body other than his hands or his feet. Here's the most important part. The ball is dead the instant the runner touches the ground. I'm going to say that again because it's really important to really emphasize this. The ball is dead the instant, right? There is no continuation. There is no, let's see what happens the instant. That's what it says in the rule book. The instant the runner touches the ground. Now let's go into some screenshots here from three different, you can just cycle through them, eyes if you don't mind, as we talk about it over the next couple minutes. You can see here that the Packers returner, there are multiple instances, and they're pretty clear. He has possession of the football. It's clear. It's obvious. This is from the broadcast footage, right? So this is something, obviously, the NFL officials, when they reviewed this play, clearly had. They had all of these shots. They could have picked any one of these three shots that we'll cycle through over the next few minutes to say, yes, he has possession and he is down by contact. Clearly, he's being touched by the Philadelphia Eagles defender, and the ball is therefore dead. It is in possession of the Packers. The ball is dead. Green Bay football. They called it a fumble on the field recovered by Philly. That's not the real problem. Mistakes happen all the time during live games. We see bad pass interference calls, bad holding calls. It happens all the time. The debacle here is that the officiating crew reviewed it, did an extensive review, had access to these same footage, these same clips that we're seeing in front of you right now. And remember, the instant, right? So any one of these three, if you disagree with one of them, it doesn't matter because there's two other ones where there is clearly an instant. That word is so critical where the possession is with the Green Bay Packers and he is on the ground down by contact. Therefore, the ball is dead. Yet the NFL officials decided to over officiate, to control something, make a ruling that made absolutely no sense, and it gave the Eagles a massive advantage from the outset. The NFL officiating has been bad at best, I'll say that, and it's been god awful through most of the season. This in the playoffs, right here in a big moment, totally unacceptable.
Yeah, Nick, and I think the key here for me is from the beginning. First of all, the hit on the kick returner was a little bit questionable as well. I think that was a dicey call, but or no call rather. But here on the fumble, like you said, the rule is pretty cut and dry. As instantly when they touch the ground, any part of their body, and clearly the lower half of his body is touching the ground, it is a dead ball and it is no longer, there's nothing really more to add to it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the fact that a fumble is called here and that the Packers lose it from the onside, like you said, behind the eight ball very early on, really, it was just one of the big punches in the gut that the Packers got in this game. And I think it's been the black eye on, the NFL this entire season. Because the fact that we've had like, I don't even know, 3 or 4 of these types of videos in the last half of this season, just of these officiating plays that have really been absolutely inexcusable. I think that's the key here. But this one in particular, in a playoff game, these are supposed to be, the A team. This is supposed to be the best of the best refs that they can offer to these games. And something this egregious that is clearly seen on the TV, clearly seen on the Jumbotron in the stadium, that to me is inexcusable. And I think that's the key here. It's just how blatant everyone at home was able to see it and the fact that they don't call it on the field.
And not that they just don't call it on the field, right? It's that they reviewed it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that just is absolutely inexcusable, right? You miss penalties, you miss calls. It happens in live action, right? I'm not criticizing refs. I don't like to criticize refs who miss a holding or miss a face mask or miss a pass interference or have a bad roughing the passer, right? It happens. These are players going incredible speeds with a lot of things happen, ridiculous change of directions. Mistakes are going to happen. Just like players make a mistake, they drop a ball, they fumble, they miss a block. It happens, right? The officials got it wrong live. It happens. That's fine. We have replay. We have all this great camera technology. We have these shots here. And for some reason, the officials did not make the right call. I don't know what the reason is. What I think happened is that the officials decided to do what I think is a horrific thing. It happened before. I don't know if you guys remember when the NFL decided to make pass interferences challengeable. Teams started challenging pass interferences. What did the officials do? Even if they were obvious, they wouldn't overturn it because they were saying, no, we are not going to give up this control of the football game. I think this was a situation here where the call on the field was so massive. It was a fumble on the opening kickoff of a playoff game recovered by the home team, the kickoff team. And the officials right here, the referee said, I don't want to overturn that because that's going to make us as an officiating crew look like we don't have control from the onset. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm just hypothesizing. But it feels like that's what happened here. And that is an absolute travesty. This call was a disaster. And look, Packers fans, Jordan Love had to play better. Your offensive line has to play better. Your defense has to come up with clutch stops. That's all valid. The Eagles, great win for you guys. Not taking anything away from Philly. But the reality is this is yet another debacle in the NFL officiating. And if something doesn't happen soon, we'll continue to see disasters like this in even bigger games the rest of the way.